Hey guys, tonight's movie review is for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who's on a half shell? Turtle power. And this is starring Megan Fox and Will Arnett and our favorite green ones, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo. This movie is kind of another origin story on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, similar to the original movie in 1990. Um, in this movie, April O'Neil, the news reporter, she's played by Megan Fox, and she kind of discovers this gang that's terrorizing the town, and she discovers that there are these like rogue people helping try to fight against these bad guys, against the gang, and they leave these Japanese symbols on every site where they kind of come in and fight against the bad guys. And so she one day makes sure she gets in the middle of the action, follows the vigilantes, I guess you'd say, up to a roof and discovers that it is the Ninja Turtles. A little bit further into the film, she actually discovers that her dad, who has passed away when she was growing up, was a scientist, and he worked with this other man to develop some technology that actually created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And so she discovers she's had this connection to them since she was a little girl. And she and her cameraman, played by Will Arnett, they decide that they are going to help the turtles fight against this evil force that is run by Shredder. You know, main bad guy in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder. And that's pretty much what the movie is. Not a very complicated storyline. The movie itself, there's a lot of controversy. These characters, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, are really close to the hearts of a lot of adults who grew up watching the show. And of course, we heard producer Michael Bay, and we're like, well, crap. He didn't direct it though, so we at least are a little lucky in that he wasn't also directing this project. As far as the look of all these characters that you've come to know, the turtles from the very beginning, we saw glimpses. I knew going in, it's not the same mutant turtles that we grew up with. I didn't really mind the way the turtles looked in this. I didn't mind the way that Shredder looked either. I thought his armor was kind of cool. The one CGI character that was terrible was Splinter, who plays the sensei to the turtles. He looked awful. I was so disappointed by the way he looked. Definitely the most disappointed of the way any of the CGI characters looked in this movie was Splinter. April O'Neil, of course, she's supposed to have a red bob and the bright yellow jacket. She did have the jacket, but Megan Fox, not at all who I would envision as April O'Neil, but that's neither here nor there. The acting in the movie itself, I enjoyed the voice performances of the guys who played the turtles, especially Michelangelo. Of course, he's always the one who is goofy and carefree, and definitely had some funny lines in this one. Megan Fox, feel bad for Megan Fox a little bit. Not that she's an award-winning actress, but she was given some terrible, terrible dialogue in this movie. The dialogue for April O'Neil was just ridiculous, and she did what she could with it. I mean, half the lines were just completely crazy, and I'm sure she had a really tough time keeping a straight face when she said them. Will Arnett, I love him and everything he does, so didn't mind him at all. Some of the effects were pretty cool. I'd say the first half of the movie I enjoyed more than the second half as far as the effects. Near the end, you have this really big action sequence that's going down this snowy hillscape, thought that got way over the top. That was definitely Michael Bay had his hands on that scene, that part of the movie. It got to the point where it's just like, okay, whatever. It's just like the Transformers. They get to a point where it's not really enjoyable anymore. It's so much crazy CGI. But first half of the movie, I thought the effects and the fight scenes and stuff were actually decent. Um, the storyline of the movie, it is an origin storyline, which, a lot of people are not a fan of. I actually normally really enjoy origin storylines. I kind of like being introduced to the characters and understanding, how they came to be what they are now, and just the dynamics of who people are and how they step up and become like vigilantes or superheroes in any of the superhero movies. I'm normally the dork who enjoys that stuff. This movie was boring. This movie was boring. I was surprised at the fact that I probably from the middle to the end, I was bored. So I don't know. I would give this movie a D. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I also didn't have very high expectations. I think most people didn't. But it does have a little bit of that nostalgia just of the old films and the love of the turtles. And I think the personalities of the turtles in this were the best part of it. Everything else was kind of a complete throwaway. Um, Go watch the original. I would probably do that rather than seeing this. If you're gonna see this in the theater, I would just do a matinee or something. The kids, now I was with kids, of course they thought it was great, amazing, awesome. They're also not used to the original Turtles. But I would say, yeah, a D, but we weren't really expecting much on this one, were we? I don't know. That's all I got. If you've seen this and you loved it, hated it, whatever comments you had, feel free to leave that. And also, if you like this review, please subscribe below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great night. Thanks.